to get the ball rolling and start building chemistry with this bunch?
Looking forward to it all summer since I took the job here, and very excited to get going.
How do you start building chemistry with the team that's toes on this white line?
Well, you just have to work at it. We're going to talk about ways on the basketball court we have to achieve the on-court chemistry, and all the ways that we should carry ourselves in terms of establishing positive chemistry off the basketball court.
How did the young guys keep up with the influx of veterans, Sonia, Aaron, and Peyton?
I think everybody's looking forward to playing with the guys we brought in here, drawing on their winning experience, and the defensive talent and perimeter shooting that we've added to the club.
For franchises that hasn't been in the playoffs for several years, how do you handle playoff expectations, especially when something taking a turn?
Raise the bar. Set the bar high. We're going to be a team that has a shoot for the moon mentality, dream big mentality, and then set that bar high, and then work our tails off to go achieve our goal.
Frank, how special can this team be defensively? And I'm so sure that's probably one of your first messages right out of the gate about being a good defensive team, right?
Well, it's going to depend on how much they commit. We're going to preach defense every day in practice and in games. We have the defensive talent to be special as a unit, and it's going to be on our guys to really commit to that end.
You had a lot of stability with players in Indiana, but how do you approach having 7 new faces and guys that are getting used to a new staff and so much newness?
Well, just be patient and teach. Implement a system, try to keep it simple, and the game is not that complicated. Keep it simple and defend, rebound, and share the basketball on the offensive end.
Everybody talks about playing small. Talk about playing tall. I mean, is it Golden State? Did they just get blown up because Golden State's so good at it? And are you guys zigging when everybody's at it?
I don't think so. I think playing tall can be a weakness against small ball teams if you don't have versatility. We have great versatility with our bigs on this roster, so we're going to be able to have hopefully the best of both worlds, the ability to have length at all positions, to be a great defensive unit, but to have the athleticism and versatility defensively to counter some of these small ball attacks.
Frank, I don't know how much access have you had to this group prior to your first practice tomorrow, and have they been working collectively at all in the recent past?
Well, in the recent past in September, we have had a lot of open gyms and good turnouts with pickup games and some drill work. You're limited in what you can do in terms of how many players you can have on the floor at once. But I've had a lot of interaction with these guys one-on-one, and everybody's ready to go.
Do you get a sense of their hunger level of wanting to help this franchise get over the hump, and do you get a sense of that?
Yeah, the hunger level is very high in the whole organization, in the community, with the guys that are going to be in uniform, and with our coaching staff. So we're going to be working diligently to get the job done.
How have you and your family acclimated to Orlando so far?
Fantastically. We love it here. We're proud to be Central Floridians, and the kids are happy in their schools, and the family's doing well, getting situated down here.
A lot of Disney trips?
A couple of them, yeah. Yeah, we've had some good days there.
You haven't bounced the ball yet, but a lot of people say you're going to have trouble scoring. How are you going to score, and is there going to be a go-to guy, or is it collective?
Yeah, the go-to guy is going to be the open man. We're going to be a selfless team, a share the basketball team, a play for each other team, and a team-first team. And we're going to ask all of those things of our players. We're going to try to work hard on the offensive end by committing to the running game, and obviously we've got a lot of defensive talent and a commitment level there, and it's going to carry us. But we're going to run the floor and hopefully play a very entertaining style of offensive basketball as well.
Frank, you've talked a lot about that running style. Is it because you feel like you have the young legs and get stops and you can run the floor with the Aarons and the Alfreds? And
that's part of it, but I just feel like that's the way the game's meant to be played. Mm-hmm. You get possession of the basketball, all 5 guys on the floor should be trying to outrun their man, and to attack early in the clock, and put offensive pressure on defenses to get back and to match up. We're relentless, crashing the glass, and to try to generate great ball movement.
Have you got a sense yet where some of the returning guys have improved, the younger players, having watched some of them on tape and then seen them bid for the open gym?
Yeah, well, I think it's like, for Mario, I think he's just going to be more comfortable in year 2, like every player that ever came into the league is. And hopefully have a better feel for his defensive positioning and shot recognition. Hopefully be more prolific offensive player. I think both Alfred and Aaron are going to be improved with their perimeter shooting. And I think the decision making from all these guys is going to improve because our team perimeter shooting has it. So there should be more space to make more solid decisions.
Frank, do you feel like there's a lot of uncertainty in the Eastern Conference where it's up in the air? I mean, you've seen some of the teams lately with Milwaukee and Miami suffering losses, that it's really up in the air as far as teams like yourself that people don't know a lot about that can make a jump?
Well, absolutely. It's wide open. Obviously we're all chasing Cleveland, the champs. And beyond that, there's a lot of teams that have a legitimate reason to believe they can be that second or third seed. A lot of teams. And I think last year was a little bit indicative where maybe the top contenders, championship contenders were in the West, but the deeper conference was no doubt about it, the Eastern Conference. And I think it's going to be the same this year.
Excuse me, you said recently that you had a feeling that you're going to stay in the team for a long time. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Well, I believe we're going to win here. I really do. I think we're going to win a lot this year. I believe we're going to make the playoffs, and I believe we're going to have a chance to go deep into the playoffs. So when you win basketball games, you stick around a while. So I believe in this team.
Frank, you had bigs in the Pacers out there. Does that help you in the thought process of playing time with Gooch, Brambo, Ibaka, some of the guys you had there with Vogel?
Yeah, well, the style of play that we played in Indiana with 2 bigs can be a little bit similar here. I think there's a lot of differences between this team and that team. I think I'm going to be comfortable coaching that style of play, but I'm also going to be comfortable going small when needed. The way we played with last year's Indiana. We played most of the season small, with small lineups or spread lineups, and hopefully we're going to have a little bit of a blend, smash mouth basketball and a running spread offensive type of attack.
How much about your inside message and kind of how that's going to bring those 3 guys that you have?
I'm sorry, just talk about the inside player?
Yes. And if you thought much about that, just
well, 3 of our best players on our roster are Bismack, Serge, and Vooch. So those guys are all going to be a big part of what we do. We're going to take advantage of their strengths to be a long defensive monster of a team. They can score the ball, they can forcefully roll the basket, use their offensive and defensive versatility, shoot the ball from the perimeter. Those 3 guys are going to be a big part of what we do.
does it matter who's starting and who's not?
It's not.
How do you get a balance between those? The Vooch is the offensive guy, and Bismack's the defensive guy. How do you get as far as minutes? Is it depending on situation?
Well, I think at the end of the game you can look at that, but I think there's going to be a lot of which guy's going. And a lot is going to be asked of both of those guys. Biz is going to be asked to be a finisher at the rim, be a threat in the lob game, a monster on the offensive end, one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. So he's not just a defensive player, he's a 2-way player. Vooch is going to improve on the defensive end by using his size and improving his angles in anticipation to be a great rim protector for our team. So they're both going to be asked to be 2-way players.
Coach, you have a nice blend of veterans and a lot of young guys as well. How do you expect your veterans to help mold and shape the young guys as you go on and continue to try to win and chase a championship?
It begins with their approach, leading by example, and it continues on with their leadership in terms of grabbing guys and showing them things that may be out of place. right work ethic, and just looking at situations where those guys that both had experience in Surge and Bismack with other teams, helping those teams, win a lot of basketball games and go deep in the playoffs. So, those guys are going to be a big part of what we're doing.
Will everybody be available to practice tomorrow?
We're still waiting to hear C.J. Wilcox. We had an X-ray today. Hoping to be cleared for all activity. And then Aaron Gordon rolled his ankle a couple weeks ago, and we're expecting him early on in camp to be going through some of the drill work, but to be no contact.
What do you expect, Jeff, during the W?
Versatility at the 3-4. This is a league that plays with a lot of guys. The hybrid 3-4 position, like Jeff excels at. Where you can go out there, with 4 men on him and take him out on the perimeter off the bounce and shoot threes over him. But when he plays the 3, to take smaller defenders in the post, he uses offensive versatility in that way.
Frank, a lot of teams or coaches shy away from the playoff expectations. They take kind of a wait-and-see approach, but you haven't backed away from that, and your players have talked about it. Is that something you want them to know right away, that that's the standard?
Well, I wouldn't be this way if I didn't really believe in this team. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can fake that type of talk, that type of belief. I really believe that this team has what it takes to make the playoffs and have success in the playoffs. And it's going to be about coming together and creating that positive chemistry and commitment to the defensive end and to the running game and to trust in the pass. And, if all those things happen the way I believe they're going to happen, we're going to have great success this year.
CJ's X-ray is on the cover of what he had surgery on.
Yes.
Is everyone in pretty good shape here?
Thanks, Frank. Appreciate it.
All right.